meeting for the Georgetown City Council. We'll ask Councilwoman.
Moment of silence. We're doing a moment of silence.
Yes, we'll do that. I'm sorry. Let's have a moment of silence. Thank you. We'll ask Councilwoman Ms. Brent if she would lead us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I want to welcome everyone here to this special meeting for the Georgetown Council on Wednesday, May 29, 2024. We'll ask that at this time that you'll have a motion to approve the minutes from the last. Oh, excuse me, roll call. I'm sorry, getting ahead of myself.
Mr. Allen?
Here.
Mrs. Wilkins-Brent?
Here.
Mrs. Butcher-Conway? Mrs. Hambrick? Mr. Hampton?
Here.
Mr. Showalter? Mr. Stone?
Here.
Mrs. Tackett?
Here.
Now, do I have a motion to approve the minutes from the last
Motion,
meeting?
Mayor.
Motion made by Mr. Allen, second by Mr. Hampton. Are there further questions and or comments? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, say likewise. Let the record reflect that the motion carried. Item number 4 on the agenda, GMWSS, and I'll call Chase up Judy Constructions for $696,950.73. This was an item that did not on the last agenda, so this is why we're having this at this meeting.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you to the council for convening on this specially called meeting. We do have an approvals process for every one of these pay apps, and so certain things happen on a certain day of each month. It starts with the contractor and our inspector meeting to go over the latest pay app. Then that comes to the engineer, then it comes to our staff, and it goes to everything's good, it goes to the board of commissioners on the second Tuesday of each month, and then it will come to the council on the fourth Monday, with us rescheduling the previous regular scheduled meeting for Memorial Day. Obviously, that whole process got a little messed up, so thank you for being here tonight so I could bring this to you for your consideration. But this is our monthly payout. This is payout number 37 on the project, and in the amount of $696,950.73. This is for work completed on the wastewater treatment plant number 1 upgrade and expansion. Work completed in April of this year. We're 71% complete on our budget, 49% complete on our actual work complete. I think that number is actually higher. As I spoke at the last or 2 council meetings ago, I do look forward to providing council and the public with an in-depth update on the project via a video that we are working on. Georgetown Police Department is helping us out with some drone footage, but we're going to give you a very in-depth look at where we are, hopefully shooting for a 10 to 12-minute video with photos, drone footage all across the project site, good narration of where we are on the project and what's left to do to get us to March of next year. So if you have any questions on the project or this payout, I'm happy to answer them.
You have a motion?
Motion, Mayor.
Motion made by Ms. Tackett.
Second, Mayor.
Who made second? Mr. Stone, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Long day. Are there further questions and or comments? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say likewise. Let the record reflect that the motion did carry.
Thank you all for
Thank-
being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item number 5 is the information only. While Stacy's coming up, just want to give you some in-depth on this, little history of that. We had some issues that could come up through our comp study when we did, that we need to address. Stacy in a few minutes is going to tell you the numbers and what's behind it. Also, in talking with council members and so on, I made some adjustments myself on some projects and items and personnel that we need to add. So I wanted to add that. So we will have a first reading on our next meeting. Will have to be the first reading for this with these new changes added to that. And then if you want to talk to me further about this or have any questions, like I said, feel free to contact me, let me know, and we can talk further about this. So, Stacy, I'll turn it over to you.
Yes, like the mayor said, obviously with there being a tight turnaround between budget presentation and first reading, some things have come up since first reading, like that, so council members and the departments brought to our attention. So, as the mayor mentioned, the first thing is the requested fire inspector position. The mayor has recommended, after his discussions with you all, to put that into the next budget for next year. With salary and benefits total, that's about an additional $149,000. The next thing that I wanted to mention, as the mayor said with our comp study, when the first reading was kind of the first time that some of our departments got to see the full picture. They had seen their own individual departments. They had looked, they had weighed in on that, but once we saw the full picture, there had been a difference in how police and fire had promoted throughout the years, where one was doing it a flat percentage because police said, the chiefs at the time said, our officers want to know when they promote exactly how much they're going to get. So, so they kind of said, okay, we'll get a flat percentage when you promote. Whereas fire was kind of where you got a 10-year firefighter promoting to captain, and then where are your other captains that have been here for about 10 years, and we kind of sweep them in there. And so those two different philosophies in the department had created a discrepancy in pay at the captain and sergeant level, and then the battalion chief and lieutenant. So our battalion chiefs and lieutenants are graded the same, and then our captains and sergeants are graded the same. So after listening to our department's concerns, I said, you know what, we agree with you. If we're going to address this now, even though this wasn't something that MAG brought up in their presentation, that doesn't mean we can't address it. So after looking at it, the positions that you see highlighted in yellow have been adjusted, and you'll see that we've adjusted lieutenants to match battalion chiefs with similar experience, and sergeants to match captains with similar experience. So that's what we've done. And then the fire engineers, they were kind of new, where initially they were created with just a flat stipend, but now they're just in a grade, so that'll also be an opportunity for promotion in the fire department. So we've adjusted those as well at the recommendation of the fire chief. So there was only one person in fire otherwise that we adjusted. There was one captain, our newest captain. We actually decreased his salary based on what was in there on May 20th to make it even with the other sergeants who basically had what we would say 0 years, they had less than a year in the position. He just received a very large salary adjustment when he promoted in January. So he is still getting a raise, just a smaller raise than what you would have seen in the spreadsheet. Other than that, we've increased sergeants and lieutenants to equal their counterparts on the fire department side. And the grading cost, salaries, it was about $92,000 in salary adjustments with benefits and all. It's around $135,000. And again, we'll fine tune all those numbers before first reading on the benefits side and everything. But if you have any questions, let us know. But again, that was at the request after our departments had a chance to kind of review the whole thing as a whole.
So this is in addition to the 900 or some odd thousand that we put in the budget to make that difference after we had that meeting with the gentleman?
This is in addition to what
you
this wasn't really something that came out of the comp study itself. He obviously was ranking positions and looking at, this was something that came as a request from our departments after they looked at it, and we felt that it was a reasonable request that if your supervisory ranks are graded the same, they should be paid the same if they were promoted at the same time.
And in reviewing this and speaking with the mayor, we talked about the mayor's emphasis on equal starting pay for police and fire in terms of recruitment. A different philosophy and promotion created a pretty significant disparity. In some cases, $10,000 pay difference recommended coming out of the study for folks in the same grade with the same kind of level of experience in that position. So, if we're incentivizing that equal pay to recruit them and they're in equal grades on that public safety pay chart, it makes sense, and It's something that, like Stacy and Megan have said, it didn't come as a recommendation from the consultant, but it's an issue identified internally that isn't really consistent with what the council has wanted to do coming out of this study. So it doesn't address every single police officer and firefighter who are paid a little bit differently and have the same years of experience, but we're just trying to address compression the best way we can. And as those folks in those police officer, firefighter positions promote the promotion policy, which the council will adopt those policies, that policy will help rectify these issues in the future. So thanks again to Megan and Stacy, really hustling and meeting with the chiefs to make sure everybody's on the same page and everybody feels good about this moving forward. And also echoing Chase, thank you all for getting together so quickly. We don't often have these kind of urgent meetings. It just worked out that we were able to do this informational update with Chase's purchase request. So thank you for your willingness to get together.
And then we'll have that a new first reading on June 10th.
What's the new operating surplus, or do you, if you don't have that off the top of your
I
head?
don't have it off the top of my head. I feel like it was around 600 some.
Greg,
I
you
was
got it?
going to clarify.
Okay.
So the total additional to the budget, I come up with 282, 432.
Yes.
And at our last, at the first reading, our surplus was 654, 036, so that would take us to 371.
Okay, so ignoring capital, still at that 370-ish?
Yeah,
Okay.
372-ish, yeah.
Thank you.
Well, once again, we want to make sure that, we want to be a employer of choice, that when we get people here, we get good qualified people, and that, and echoing that when we saw the discrepancy that was not fair, we want to make sure that it was fair to everybody and do the right thing. And I think that I didn't have a problem doing that, because that is the right thing to do for people, is to make sure that everybody gets paid what they should be paid. And we don't want anybody here who feel like they're not being paid what they should be paid and their worth. So that's where we are. Okay, do I need a motion on this?
Nope, information only. So like Mayor said, if you all looking at the budget, knowing that we're having another first reading, it is another opportunity. If you have anything you have questions about or want to advocate for, I know Councilwoman Brandt advocated for the fire inspector, and the mayor took that into consideration and included that. So, if you have other issues you want to talk about, whether something that's included or not included, just let us know and we'll set up a time.
Yep, we'll be glad to talk to you. So if there's no other business to be brought before this council, this meeting is adjourned.